Hey, this coach. You tune into the Encouragers. Episode 36 starts now.
Oh, yeah.
What's up, Jake?
If you got that special little lady in the room with you, just reach around and smack her on the cheeks.
Oh, is the Christmas devotional still going? Did it finish up?
It's over. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's
Right on,
beautiful
man.
music. I shouldn't
I
have ruined
bet.
it with my "oh yeah" voice.
Man, you got that, bro. You got that DJ voice going on right now, brother. Sounds good.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
Sorry, it took me a little bit to get this up and running because the my audio was tripping, man. It was like the something with the cord or something. I don't know.
Zoom
I got
doesn't. Zoom has. I just had another update too, but Zoom with their updates, it messes with the audio quite a bit. I think they're always trying to improve the quality of the sound coming through, but it's like I got to reconfigure. This time was the most flawless that I've had though. Had it go through because last time I had issues trying to get in there as well. Trying to get my headphones to work, so I couldn't hear my audio. So I ended up just listening through the computer, but everything flawless this time.
Yeah, it sounds good, man. You sound good on this end, bro. Sounds really good.
You too.
How's your Sunday so far, man?
It's good, man. Pretty laid back. Got
You
some
watching-
rest.
Oh, good.
Watch some football.
Did you see the 49er Tua game or Dolphins game? Did you watch that?
Yeah. I was watching Red Zone, so I saw like really like not the whole game, but just like the majority of the impactful plays.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. It was you're playing fantasy, right? Are you playing fantasy?
Yeah.
I'm in 2 leagues this year. I'm in a $20 league and a $50 league. And my $50 league we've been playing for since 2013, probably 2014. I don't know, a long time. But every year it's been a different person. There's I think one person went back to back. But this year I started off high and now I'm like there's a lot of us that are 6-6, so we needed to win today.
Yeah.
Kind of like move up, and I'm in that bracket. There's like 6 of us. Well, I'm in 12-man league, is the $50 one, and man, today was a tough one, man. Like my quarterback when I had Jimmy G is my starting quarterback this week 13.
Hurt his ankle, huh?
Hurt his ankle and he went out, man. I was like, oh my goodness. And I'm playing one of the leaders in my bracket, or one of the top dudes in my fantasy league. And I needed a win this week, man. There's a lot of us that are 6-6, but dude, if you guys are listening, if that group is listening, shout out to Galapagos Wolfpack and our fantasy league, man. It's been going strong for a while, and hopefully we have a new winner this year. But yeah, man. How many leagues are you in?
I'm in 2 this year. I've done like 4 or 5 before, but just 2 this year.
Right on.
I'm like I'm kind of I'm winning in one of my leagues. I'm like, I don't know, 7-4, something like that.
That's pretty good.
And then I'm 500 in another one.
Okay.
So the toughest league is the one that with like me and Asi and Jeff Tuha and Keith and Jordan, like this, we've been doing that one for probably 10 years. But there's a ton of people in it, so like, yeah, it's tough to, like, you can't, if your quarterback goes down, you don't really have anything you can pick up. Because there's so many people in it. In that one it is, hold on, let's pull it up so I'm accurate, so I don't mix up my leagues. Justin Fields,
man, he'd be scoring points, but you just,
I had him on my bench because in that league, I had Kyler Murray, but he's had a rough year with injury and stuff too. So those are my 2 quarterbacks in that league.
Well, that's what's up. Yeah, this week 13 is a crucial week for a lot of fantasy games, man. This is the mid
Whether or not you make it to the playoffs, right?
Yeah, whether or not you make it to the playoffs, dude, and that's where the money's at. So anyhow, this is episode 36. Everyone, thank you for tuning in today, episode 36. We're joined here. My name is Stephen Notis. I'm the host for today, and we're joined here today. I'm with Coach Will Kofa. He's out in Utah, and I'm with my brother Rex Roots. Jake, he's all the way out in North Carolina. And man, how you doing, man? Got a little baby there? Can you hear us okay?
Yeah, just wanted to show you guys, baby.
Hi, baby.
What's up?
He's so adorable.
Baby's about 3 months old now.
Mm-hmm.
So coach is doing diapers all over again. Let's go.
Let's go. That's what's up, man. Oh, you guys, how's the holiday stuff going so far for you guys? We're in holiday season right now, full effect.
It's good. Like quick transition. Like Thanksgiving was great. It was good to spend some time with some family and reflect, because I think I think our this episode is going to be kind of concentrated on your vision forward, right? But it's always good to kind of take your vision in the present and in the past and be thankful. So it was just good to get your mind right and be thankful for all the things that you have, see where you've come from, see where you're at, and then Christmas time we can kind of get focused on back on the family and then moving forward out of the holiday season. So it's a real good time. I think I really love Christmas time. My dad used to take me on. We do like Secret Santa for members of the church that we got selected. And so the fun part was like it was snowing, there was like snowbanks everywhere, and my dad would be like, let's hide. So it's fun for a kid. And then we run up, ring the doorbell, and they take off so they don't know who it was. And we'd be hiding behind the snowbanks trying to see if they got it, but we didn't want them to see us who had dropped it off. So those are just fun memories of giving that I really love, and stories like that, which is kind of to get in that spirit of giving. And that's the funnest part about this month is of course those of us that have faith in our Savior and what he did for us, celebrating his birth, and then giving, those are the two fun things for me.
That's what's up. Coach, what about you? How's the holiday stuff going for you? Christmas time.
Yeah, man, the holidays always remind you how important families are, just like how important people that you love, maybe not necessarily like blood family, but people that you love, people that that comes within your circle during your lifetime. And it's just a good reminder of just keeping those people by you, through the good and through the bad. But it's funny, when I heard Jay talking about snowbanks, man, it was 75, 80 degrees during Christmas where I lived and was born and raised. And we're at the beach. We're riding our bikes on the beach and we're eating seafood, and we don't see any snow in California. And so being here in Utah, it's a different feeling, just because you see it on TV, and mostly all the Christmas movies are all about the wintertime, the snow. It makes it just that much more special. And it's true. You know what I'm saying? Like seeing the snow during Christmas, it's a different feeling, man. Versus seeing the beach and the water and the sunshine. It's not the same because of what television has taught you about what it should look like for Christmas.
Coach, we've flipped, because that's what I have now over here. And you got all the snow over there.
Yeah, Jake, what part of North Carolina are you at for our people who are listening?
Wilmington, North Carolina. So 10 minutes from the beach, and pretty temperate. My parents moved down here last year, and my mom went to the beach last week, and she was just all happy that she's getting the sun and everything. And, it still kind of messes, because they moved down from Massachusetts. I've lived here for about 10 years, but they moved down from Massachusetts recently. And of course, getting all the winters, all the stuff like that. Right. And so it's a drastic change. My parents, having dealt with the winters for 20 plus years up there, more than that, but 20 plus in Massachusetts, they are happy to be down here. Even though, to Coach's point too, you kind of miss out on the Christmas spirit of it a little bit, not having the snow. But your bones feel better.
Man, I bet. Tell me about it, man. We get all the season over here in Reno, and there's a winter storm that just went through. It went east, headed east towards Coach's area. Well, man, they probably got dumped on over there. But yeah,
You have snow
man,
on the ground right now?
yeah, it snowed a little bit, but it's all dried up. It was a mixture of snow and rain. But man, it is cold, bro. My bones is hurting.
Coach and Tech have snow on the ground, I can imagine.
Yeah. Yeah, just a lot of great things about the holidays right now. A lot of traditions, like you said earlier. A lot of food. One thing I love about the holidays is the food aspect of it, man. A lot of all the cooking, all the cookers and chefs come out. And a cup of kava right there, you're holding up to the screen. Lucky, bro. Take a cup from me, man. Love your background screen there, Jake. Got the good vibes. Good vibes logo.
That's just had to switch it up here. Shout out to Tonga and Good Vibes Kava.
Yeah. One of our major sponsors for this podcast. Guys, check them out on Instagram. Good Vibes is spelled with the GEWD, Vibes, VIBES. Good Vibes Kava. You can find them on Instagram and
in between two underscores.
Oh yeah.
So underscore Good Vibes Kava underscore.
Right on. Yeah, man. Shoot. This coming Sunday, there's a program. We talked about it on the last podcast with Tech, but there's this thing in Reno where all the different denominations get together, all the Tongan denominations, different churches get together, and they do a Bol Hiva. We call it Bol Hiva, night of singing. And so that's coming up this Sunday. I'm looking forward to that. When we were growing up younger, when I was growing up, Tech and I here in Reno, they used to have that. They used to hold that all, like every year. They would have a Bol Hiva, and because of COVID, the last 2 years they kind of like went away from it. So this is the first year back from COVID, and it's they're going all out, man. The LDS Church, LDS Faith, they're hosting this year, and they're in charge of providing the facility. Everyone's going to meet at that facility to do the singing, the night of singing, and then they're also in charge of the food. So there's like I heard there was like 40 pigs being roasted up this coming weekend for that Bol Hiva night this Sunday coming up, and I'm off and I can't wait, man. I'm about to grab on some pig this weekend. Also enjoy the music, the different holiday music that they're going to be singing, church songs, you know what I'm saying? Each church. So you got the Church of Tonga singing, the Tongan Methodist Church, the Wesleyana Church, Tongans just all singing. I haven't been to one of those in years, several years, since I was little, probably. But Coach, you ever go to a Bol Hiva with different churches, like different denominations? You ever see that?
Yeah, if you haven't been to one of these Bol Hivas, like in person, it's a whole different experience.
Man,
just like I think we grew up here in the States, so we're not that really connected with the culture as much as our parents do when growing up in islands. But just being there, I feel like I'm proud to be Tongan. You know what I'm saying? Because of the music and the different harmonies, the women, the men, like they scream their lungs out in Tundo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and most of it's all a cappella, man. Like there's no pianos. It's all done like a cappella wise, that type of vibe. So it is dope, man. Hopefully I can get record it or take photos of it. That's for me, that's coming up this Sunday, that event where all the churches are getting together. But do they do that up in Utah? You ever any polys or Samoan steak or Tongan steak? Do they do that up there?
Man, I haven't even searched for it. My grandma's brother, which is Tech's dad's brother, right? Was Faifika, which is like the head of the Church of Tonga. And we used to go to his in Compton. And so, yeah, in Compton, yeah. So in Compton, they had the Church of Tonga there. And it's different, man. It's fun. It's just to feel the love of the people, how much love they have for the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And just grateful just to be there to sing. And when you hear the island music, man, especially church hymns,
Mm.
if you watch rugby, dang, man, it's just different, bro.
Yeah, it is. Well, first of all, tell everyone that, for those of you who are first time listening in to us, we do our podcast. We're from different areas of the country. So, Coach, where are you from at right now? Where you at right now?
Salt Lake City, Utah.
And we said earlier, Jake, you're at
Wilmington, North Carolina.
Wilmington, North Carolina. And then Coach grew up where'd you grow up? Tell them a little about your background, Coach, just so you can, most people that are listening in right now, tuning in, tell them a little, and then I'll go to you afterwards, Jake. Tell them a little bit about your background.
Yeah, man. Mom and dad are immigrants from the islands, and didn't have much moving here, just like any other immigrant moving into the States, and landed in a small city by the sea called Long Beach, California. So we're the original Tongans of that city. The original families, one of the original families that were born and raised in that city of Long Beach, city of Snoop Dogg and Warren G. That was our neighborhood,
Jeez.
And every time I hear Snoop, every time I hear Warren G, I'm like, man, that's love. That's me. That's me, I identify with them just because we're from that city, but I'm Tongan, growing up, I had to educate people on what Tongans were. And I had a little bit of identity crisis growing up because no one knew what Tongans were. And I had to educate them, He said, are you like a big Mexican, or, you know what I'm saying? Or are you like, Samoan? Nah, we're neither, And so that was like hard growing up to try to find my identity of who I am. Nowadays it's easier. You say it, people know now, athletes are throwing up the T now on the professional level now, which makes it look like that symbol means something now, versus me. But yeah, man, I'm from Cali, man. I born and raised, happy where I grew up. Grew up with nothing, which is great because everything I have, I'm grateful for. Feel me? And I live here in Salt Lake City now, home of the Utah Jazz. Go Jazz!
We're all Coach and I, we're Lakers fan, but Coach grew up from LA, so he's a diehard Lakers fan. But I can't believe I hear those words coming out of your mouth right now. Jazz. Yeah, but Jazz are tight, dude. Karl Malone, John Stockton. Yeah, the old school Jazz. But that's what's up. Yeah, Coach, thank you for being with us today. And for those of you listening, there's a group of 7 of us, and we're all from different walks of life. But majority of us, we all worked together, and we went to college together. And so Coach and I, we were college roommates. We played football down at Dixie State, and then Coach continued his education on to Arizona State University, and when he went there to play, I moved and followed him along to Arizona State, and I was roommates with him down there. And we have another guy on the podcast. His name is Paul Fanaika. He was our roommate too. So we're all just one big happy family here. And then Jake, how do we know you, Jake? Kind of introduce everybody.
Well, if you're watching on this is how we got to know each other, was right here around the bowl. You can't see the Kumete right next to me, but it was and you guys can go back and listen to the first episode that I was on. So we talked about a little bit of the background, but of course I met everybody in college, either going to school or coming up to visit or going to visit is where we kind of all linked up, and telling stories around the Cavo Bowl, and became a strong brotherhood from there and on. And I think some of us are approaching 20 plus years here of friendship. So it's just, we've been friends a long, long time, but it came from that. So how I got to that was, I was raised in upstate New York until I was about right around 12. And then my family moved to Massachusetts in Foxborough. And that's where I kind of most of my memories are from, although upstate New York, you remember a lot of snow and a lot of cold in the winter times, and not being around much Polynesians, that's for sure. When we went to Massachusetts, there was one family that were fire dancers, and they were Samoans, and so that was like the beginning of learning about Polynesians. And then ended up going to college out west on the Idaho Wyoming border, and ran into some big big, muscular, fast brown guys that played the ukulele and played football, and were very musical and very into their culture, and and that's kind of long story short, how we all kind of got to know each other. And then through the sales game, I did some traveling, and ended up living in North Carolina for the past 10 years. That's kind of long story short how I ended up out here. But yeah, that's how we ended up here. And there were some short stops in New York City. There were some short stops in in Arizona. There were some short stops all over the place. But we have a long history together of working together, having fun together, visiting each other, all that.
That's what's up. Me and Tech lived in New York, and we drove up. We rode the train up to Foxborough, and didn't we spend a Christmas or something up there, or was it Thanksgiving? I can't remember.
Christmas.
Oh yeah, it was Christmas.
Yep.
Got the
that was awesome.
Yeah, man. Shoot. This fool is right next to Gillette Stadium, man. Like you can literally throw the football from his house. And
it was 5 minutes away now. My parents are down here, so I got no roots left in Foxborough. Rest in peace, Foxborough.
for real.
Always will have a place in my heart, but parents are about 20 minutes from me now. So I have some family in Gloucester, which is about an hour north of Boston on the coast. So if you think about Cape Cod, right, is kind of east of Boston, kind of southeast of Boston a little bit. And then there's a Cape Ann, which is north of Boston.
Hey, so when you grew up, Jack, did you eat a lot of lobster rolls and like a lot of lobsters, like fresh seafood from that area? Was that pretty popular for y'all?
That's expensive food. And that is, we didn't have much money growing up, so that I didn't really get to experience that really until I started making money and coming back. And then when I was able to come back and take advantage of it. But unfortunately, fish, we would have fish, but lobster was something a little later in life that I started to sample. And it is everything they say it is. Maine lobster is not like any other lobster you'd ever have, especially if you get it fresh caught that day. It's it's hard to explain. I guess the best way I could explain it is if you've caught fresh fish out of the ocean and eaten it that day where there's no fishiness. So imagine lobster that way. No fishiness to it, really rich and fresh. It's just different coming from Maine. So, but yeah, it took me a while before I got to experience that.
Sure, that's what's up. And speaking of food, like the holidays are here, and there's a lot of different cooking that's going to be coming up over, the next few weeks and stuff. Coach, what do you guys do for Christmas, man? Anything you guys specialty we would throw down, or anything out of the ordinary for food?
Growing up, man, we just went to the park and barbecued. So, played hoops and, volleyball or rack 'em up, if you know what rack 'em up is back in the days.
What's that?
It's just you have a ball and it's everybody against everybody. So whoever has the ball, you tackle the guy with the ball. As soon as you get tackled, you let the ball, you keep the ball on the ground, and you just go back and forth, scoring touchdowns and
kill the carrier. Was it similar? Yeah,
same thing.
It's like every part of the country had their own name for it, but yeah, we all played that same game.
We called it smear the queer. I don't know if you can say that.
That's it.
That's how we called it, smear the queer. I mean, but
you can see why that's wouldn't work out today. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's what's up, man. I'm still tripping. You guys had all the warmth and sunshine. Who do we have here?
What's up, boys?
What's up, Tonga?
What's up,
Tonga? It's been a minute.
Yeah, what's up, man? Man, it's good to see you, brother. How you doing today? How's your Sunday?
Good, man. I'm doing well. Blessed.
That's what's up. We were just talking about some holiday food and the cooking and holiday stuff coming up. Anything out of the ordinary for you guys coming up for the holidays? Anything you guys throw down during the holidays or anything?
Whatever we had for Thanksgiving, we kind of do the other one. So it's either ham or turkey for Thanksgiving, and whatever we don't have on Thanksgiving, we have for Christmas. So just to switch it up a little,
That's what's up. Yeah, this year for Thanksgiving we did a little seafood. I was with my my in-laws for their For the Thanksgiving, we had wakatunu and then just a bunch of seafood. So I think we're gonna switch it up and do like the turkey this time for Christmas. So we'll see what's up. Oh man, a lot of food coming up, man. A lot of good cooking, especially this Sunday for me, man. Do they do the Tonga's living in Arlington, Texas. And there's a pretty strong island Polynesian community there. Do you guys do the Bohiva down there? Does that community down there, do they do like a Bohiva where all the
Yeah,
different churches get
I
together?
think it's in 2 weeks. It's like the Sunday before Christmas. They're doing a Bohiva. The boys were actually talking about it um at our little gathering yesterday. But yeah,
What's
um,
up?
Bohiva for sure. And then obviously, New Year's week is weekend Lotus, so
Mm.
church is like all week that week.
That's what Tech. We were talking about that the last episode with Tech. He's about to be in the Netherlands in Tonga December 27th, and he said like he's gonna be there doing the whole weekend Lotu thing
Oh
in
man,
Tonga.
that's gonna be fun, bro.
Bro, if this dude don't come back meeting somebody, I don't know what.
Hey, I'm happy if you don't come back. Good for you, bro.
But come back with a name or a referral or something for like a partner or something. I know Tech's gonna listen back to this because I'm gonna put it out tonight. But
Come back with a hickey. Oh,
Yeah, excuse me. We'll make sure all your kids over here are taken care of. Tech.
for real, man, jeez. But yeah, that fool is about to take off soon. He's nervous because he was telling me that he has to go by himself. Because he's traveling with his uncle out there, but his uncle's going to Australia, and they're gonna split up in Fiji, and he's gonna end up going by himself to Tonga from Fiji. So I don't know what he's gonna do, but I was like, it's not like you don't know the language or anything. You can go there, you'll
Yeah,
be all right, bro. Just go figure it out, man. Just find someone to help you.
I finally got to talk to him. Like he was like, "Hey, you been to Thone? Give me some pointers."
Hmm.
We were talking about it, and man, I felt bad for some of the stuff that he was having to go through. Like, I can't remember if it was a cousin or we'll just say a family member. He reached out to him, was like, "Hey, I'll be in town. Blah 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 blah. I really want to see you guys." And all he got back was, "Manatuya iPad, Manatuya moha 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 moha." You know what I mean? Like he felt like, and he was just like, "I don't know what to do. If I should just go straight to my uncle's house and wait till he gets there." And I was like, "I don't know, man."
Yeah.
It's Fort Montu's I told him wherever he's staying is like the village over from the airport from Fort Montu. So if he
Mhm.
gets a crazy bill in the taxi, he already know that the taxi driver knows that he's from Tonga. And he was tripping out when I was like, "I'm sure you don't have to have his address. You would just tell the taxi driver, hey, go up your high mohai." You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And they would already know because it's that village is right next door. And that's how it wasn't when I went. Like it was never an address. It was like my grandparents, they own apartments in Tonga. So when we were catching a taxi from Kolo to my grandparents, I'd be like, um, Leilani Apartments. That's what it's called.
Hmm.
So they would just take us right there. So, the whole landmarks thing as your directions came into play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they don't
I'm
have
happy
this.
for my man, dude.
He's gonna go and he's gonna be there for I think 2.5 weeks. He, man, what
That's
if
long enough, bro.
I know. What if he comes back and he's engaged?
Hey, let's get it.
Oh,
But if he comes back and he tells us we're all going to be uncles,
nah, no, it was just man, he
Just
ain't
play,
here,
just
so
play.
we can fahi him right now. He's gonna listen back to this and be laughing. But yeah, man, just a lot. Yeah, great things are happening. We're coming towards the end of the year, right? And I know Tech started working out. I've been trying to keep up with this workout thing, but I kind of wanted to talk about the future, and what it holds for us and what we can do to prepare for our future. And I kind of sent out a group text message today that we would, like a subject that we'd talk about on today's podcast. And Sunday night, it's Sunday, it's around almost 7 o'clock my time here in Reno, and I shot a text message out, say, let's talk about the importance of having a vision board and what that can do for us, or what that can do for our audience. What the importance of having a vision board. And I shot that out. Now, I just want to kind of transition over to that topic now, because we're at the last month, we're going into 2023. And I think it's important for all of us, not just here on our podcast, but for those who are listening, to kind of develop some kind of vision board, right? What are you guys' thoughts on the importance of having a vision board and what that can do for us? Just open it up. We'll go whoever wants to go first.
It's huge, man. It's like it's like your map, right? Your guide. It's always good to have some kind of guide to achieve your goals, right? Because a vision board, just to give everybody a background, it's just like something that you want to achieve, whether it be spiritually, something you want tangible in your hand, or something that you want to better yourself with. So, like a map, to be honest, like a guide, right?
Yep. Just to, like, for those who has never heard of a vision board, basically, let me just read this little thing on what a vision board is. It says the purpose of a vision board is a collection of images, meaningful quotes, song lyrics. It can be anything that you find to be inspiring or representative of your personal goals, wants, or desires. And they say typically a vision board is the size of a poster board that illustrates what you envision your ideal future might look like. And once it's completed, your vision board should be displayed somewhere where it can frequently trigger a sense of urgency and motivation to take action towards completing your plan to reach your goals and turn your vision into reality. For me, I we all have our phones, and we carry our phones around, and some of my goals that I'm trying to reach, or trying to like work towards, I always put that on my lock screen, right? Like on my phone. I put a lot of the goals that I try to hit, or try to, like, I'm focusing on my lock screen, or on the not just the lock screen, but the background screensaver on my phone. That's one thing I like to do if I'm working towards a goal or something. Like if I'm trying to get a certain hit a certain goal in my weight or my food, I always put that on my lock screen or on the background. But what are some things that you guys are doing or have seen done to help you with your vision boards, or to get you started? And who's jamming right now?
My wife.
Nice. Sounds good. We got some background.
Can you hear that, bro?
Yeah, it sounds good.
So I guess I'll start, because like it starts with a thought, right? Like visualizing it in your mind. And I started doing like mini vision boards when I was an athlete, when I was younger, because just picturing in your head over and over something you're trying to accomplish, whether it was like winning a championship or mastering a certain move, or in a certain situation, the game winning goal, like stuff like that. So I started, and I didn't know like that was part of it, but that's kind of how it started. And then that was able to, I was able to kind of take that and transfer that into other life goals too. And I'm not the best at it, but I would say when I perform on them the best, that those goals are in a visual place where you see them often. And it can be a couple different things, because I like, do you guys know who PBD is? Patrick Bet David. He's got a podcast. Really, really successful entrepreneur, very motivational speaker, but he kind of talks about, and I like how he has he has like 3 facets to his vision boards. and he's got like what he's trying to accomplish, and he does cutouts, so everybody's is going to be a little different, but I like his a lot. So kind of like, and I have, not to his degree, but I have like something I'm trying to accomplish is where I can see it. So whether it's on a sticky note, it's on a picture, it's on something. So Patrick Bet David's got actually he's got it framed, right? And he's got 3 different pictures, and he actually divides it into 3 different ways. And so one of them is like his goals for his life, right? So on one of them, it's got like, being in a 7-star hotel, something like that, like a yacht. He's got pictures of it in a frame. The other one is the other 2 are used to inspire the main one that he has for his goals, right? So whether it be money, yachts, whatever his goals are, right? A family, a wife, he had all of those kind of, on his, on that first frame. And then he's got some inspiration that he gets for his mind. So he's got like Einstein, he's got Sir Isaac Newton, he's got just people that were inspirational to him, that that can get him fired up to or not fired up, but that can get him to think and process and be creative and kind of get in that space. And then his third one were high performers, people that like Michael Jordan, people that were the highest, of their craft, to inspire him to be better too. So he kind of divides it kind of in those 3 ways. But the part that I like overall is that it's visual. It's in, it's if you don't see it, it's hard to be disciplined, right? It's hard to work every day. It's hard to be consistent on all the little things that you do. So you're setting yourself up for success by having a vision board that is seen, not just in your mind. I think the pitfall for me is I don't always make it seen enough. When I make it seen, I tend to do better and I accomplish it better. So I really like how he has it. I've had it on bulletin boards before. I've had different things, but just in like researching it, a little bit before this as well, that's probably one of my favorites is his version of doing that. And it's kind of like, we all know about like The Secret, right? When everybody was kind of talking about that, the secret is really just kind of putting, a lot of people talk about manifesting your goals and manifesting what you want to become and what you want to have come to you. But I think it's a visual form of manifesting of what the secret is what the vision board is to me.
That's what's up. It's a Sunday today. It's a lot of people consider this day to be their holy Sabbath day. Some people are Saturday, right? But keeping on the topic for our Sabbath, Sunday, did you know, here's a little fact. Did y'all know that the word vision is mentioned 130 times in the Bible? You guys know that? It's a word that's been
I didn't know that.
over and over and over, 130 plus times. So kind of like speaking on like what you were saying, it's important to have a vision, right? Every like architect or whatever that builds or constructs the home, they have to start somewhere. And I think it begins first in the mind. And they say there's a lot of things that says if you can conceive in your mind, it can be attained in the real life and like in the real world, right? You guys ever heard anything like that, Coach?
Yeah, man. It says that the universe isn't playing any favorites.
Oh,
Everything in the universe is made up of energy. This energy vibrates at different frequencies, and it's possible to line the electrical impulses within your own body to align with all that is in the universe. And I think that and I've been saying this for years, and everybody has their own way of accomplishing their goals. And this is how I accomplish mine personally. I really believe that you have to write your goals down somewhere. Like you can't just have it in your head. It has to be written down. It has to be taped down, glued down, something for you to visually see, because that's how we operate as human beings, in my opinion, right? So you have to write it down on paper. And people who write their goals down have a clear vision of where they want to go. Make sense? People who don't write their goals down are confused and don't know where they want to go. So people who do write their goals down use people that don't write their goals down to accomplish their goals.
Damn.
Oh,
Lo loco.
Can you say that one more time, Coach? Can you repeat that for me? For
Hey,
the
let
person?
me screen record real quick. Go ahead, Coach.
Yeah, man. It's just, I think it's just simple math, but this is what I personally feel in my heart
Mhm.
of all the goals. Cause I'm a goal dude, man. I write everything down. I put things up. I just try to do everything, try to trick myself into accomplishing something.
Oh,
I have to trick myself. If not, I get confused or get distracted, but you have to write your goals down on paper. And the quote goes like this: people who write their goals down have a clear vision of where they want to go. Make sense?
Mm.
People who don't write their goals down are confused and don't know where they want to go. So people who write their goals down use people who don't write their goals down to get where they want to go.
Sheesh.
drop the mic right now.
Sheesh.
Sheesh.
That's what's up. Yeah, I don't know what to say after that because I think you're using me.
And end the podcast right there.
Stop using me, guys.
Stop using me.
Stop using us.
Man.
Man, that's
Don't know when you
yeah, that's-
when you were doing your shop, like when you guys were putting together your shop, did you have your vision written down, like how you want the shop to look and like the shelves?
I'm gonna be honest. Like when we first thought about it, like we already wanted something different, like a bar theme, right?
Mm.
So we sketched it out 50 million thousand times, and it still doesn't even look like the way we sketched it out. But it works, we like it. You know what I mean? So we didn't we didn't envision it this way, but the way it turned out is like even better, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So it worked out for sure.
That's awesome, man. And for those of you that don't know, that Tonga here, he stays in Arlington, Texas, and he owns and operates a card shop out of Arlington, Texas. It's called the Card House, Texas. It's located in near Dallas, Arlington, Texas, right?
Yeah.
And they just completed their 1 year of business, and congratulations to you. Just shout out to you guys for
Yes, sir.
doing that. And we were all there recently. We had I can't remember, I think it was episode 33 or something. We were down in Texas and we were down there to celebrate with that. So check out that podcast. And we had an open jam session there. So check that out too. That's on our YouTube channel if you guys haven't already looked at that. But man, yeah, that's deep, man. And also Coach, and by the way, Dawn and the Card House, Texas, they're actually one of our major sponsors for this podcast. So please check them out. You can reach them and follow them on all social media platforms, the Card House, Texas. And what's the website for your
thecardhousetx.com.
thecardhousetx.com for more information. And Coach Will Kofa here, he actually operates and runs another big sponsor for this podcast. It's called OFA Academy. And you can contact him on and reach out to him and see their platform, all social media platforms. Coach, how can they get a hold of you guys' program and sign up and stuff like that?
Yeah, all Instagram, Twitter. It's just OFA_Academy, or you can find us at ofatraining.org. Train with us, man. We ready for the season.
The season is already started, correct? You guys already
Correct.
Already on their
Yes,
way.
sir.
And spots do fill up, and then that's located in the Salt Lake, Utah area. So please reach out to Coach and contact him through there. But yeah, so it's important to have vision, and it's something that you hear different talks and entrepreneurs always mention is having a vision or a plan. But sometimes there's some things that I believe that sometimes the vision can only be for us and not for other people. So what do you think about when they say that be selective on who you share your vision with? You guys ever have that or heard that notion before?
I hear that all the time. sharing your vision with people that don't see what you see can be toxic. You know, if you share, like, for example, you hear it all the time, people talk about it on social media or any platform, but if you share your vision with especially people that you really, really love and respect, and they are on your own, the same frequency as you, that can be toxic for you. You know what I'm saying? Because you want them to support you, but they don't see what you see yet. And so if they don't believe you, then you begin to start hating them, you know, for not supporting you in a way. You can get discouraged. You can kind of just be like, oh, if they feel like this is not what I can do, then maybe this is not what I can do. You know what I'm saying? Start putting some self-doubt in your head. Yeah, man. So you just got to be careful.
There's this
Like that.
there's this reel that I seen. I'm gonna play it for you. It's from maybe that's too loud.
Eric Thomas?
Nah, Jamal King. This guy named Jamal King. I'm gonna see if I can play this. But it's about sharing.
They're not going to
Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can.
stop telling your visions to other people because they're not going to see it. Why you think you keep imagining opening a business? Why you keep imagining a better job? Why do you keep imagining getting rich one day? Why do you keep imagining that? Because God is talking to you. He's showing you something that he has for you. You've got to understand how good God is. He ain't playing with you.
I heard that when I was scrolling. But yeah, Steve Harvey, man, he be coming up with some, some fire, bro. There's this podcast I'll be listening to called Earn Your Leisure. You guys heard of that?
No.
Earn Your Leisure.
Yeah.
It's a pretty deep. They started about the same. Well, maybe I think they started in 2017 doing podcasts and stuff. But they started out just like us, just reaching out to people wanting to learn. But they had a sit down interview. You can watch their. It's all over YouTube. Earn Your Leisure, and they have a sit down with Steve Harvey where he's talking about that, about visions and all this other stuff for entrepreneurs. But dude, it was pretty deep. Like what was your reaction when you guys heard what he was saying right there? What were some of the things that were running through your heads?
I mean, to Coach's point, right? Like, there are some people you could share it with, but it's wasted on other people, right? So it's wasted on people that if they're not on the same wavelength, why do we spend so much time talking to each other every day in the chat? Because we're on the same wavelength coming up, right? So we're vibing with each other. So you have to be careful about that, but you want to surround yourself people that are on the same trajectory that you are, the same vibration that you are, because otherwise they can throw you off. They could kill your dream potentially, especially if you're trying to grow it, if you're not strong enough to ride with it on your own. So, we're stronger together than we are apart. But you don't want someone hanging on your ankles, bringing you down. They might throw you off that vibration that's taking you up. So, it's important. I think you guys probably see this too. As people get older, you start to see like people will they'll put up a post or a meme, they'll say that their circle's getting smaller, right? That there's, they're spending more time with less people. I think it's the same concept. They just don't really know it this is what's happening. But a lot of people do that because you start to feel the differences of people on your side, on your team, people walking the same direction as you, flying the same way. You're not flying together. People start to realize that you move through life better, having the proper support from those that are moving in the same direction. And I think that's important to to recognize. And the younger and earlier you recognize it, the more successful you'll be.
I like that. Yeah, I will see. And doesn't it always seem like the people that share that quote, it seems like they're the most toxic person too? You guys ever see that much? I was like, oh, this person said his circle is getting small, but bro, do you realize who you are? Like, you don't realize how toxic you are. Why are you sharing that for, man? I'm like, dang. I just had to say it, man, because there's some people out there that be sharing all those, you know, just keeping it real, sharing all those quotes, and then they're the person that's the reason why their circles getting small because they're so foul, bro. Jeez,
I mean, those kind of people, like, they're a little bit oblivious to life, right? And then it kind of
unaware.
smacks them. Yeah, and it smacks them in the face, and they start to realize what, like, some successful people have already realized a long time ago, that, you know, not everybody is in your corner, not everybody's moving in your same direction. You know, if you're in a boat together and someone's rowing the other direction, it's going to be tough to move how you want to move.
Oh, wow.
Jeez. I like that, Jake. Man, I have a
Hey, it
funny.
reminds me of a story.
Yeah, go for
It
it.
reminds me of a story in the Bible, man. You know, we talking about Sunday Sabbath, right? It's in Luke 5. Okay, there was those apostles that Jesus picked that chose to follow him, and these dudes are professionals. They know that lake. They know how to fish. They got the right equipment. They mastered their craft, learning what kind of net they need to use, what kind of boats they need to use, when they're supposed to throw their nets. But on this specific day, they were fishing all day and couldn't catch nothing. But they're professionals, though. You know what I'm saying? This is what they do for a living. And everybody knew it in that land. And Christ told them, like, hey, take your guys' nets out and throw it on the ocean right now. I'm just speaking, kind of just summarizing, right?
Yeah.
Those guys were like, what are you talking about? We've been fishing all day. We know this land. We know this lake. Throw your net out. You're going to catch it. You just throw your net out and you'll see what happens. And, you know, everybody knows the story. They threw their net out and they caught more than they can ever handle. They can handle. And it says in the scriptures that the net started to rip because there was so much fish. And it asked other people, the other boat, to come so they can fill their boat too. So there's two boats that were full of fish, which says there's a lot of fish, right? And this is what that story teaches me. Doesn't matter what you're doing in life. If you're a master of your craft, if you're the best of your craft, you can't leave God out of your plan. He has to be part of it. So I always keep that story. My dad, you know, he always told me, you know, just like all of us, all Polynesians and anybody that's God-fearing, it's like, you always got to keep God in there. And I keep that story just to remind me that everything I do, all the vision boards that I do, somewhere on that board, I put like a symbol, you know what I'm saying? A picture of God or a picture of Christ or something to remind me, like, man, I can't accomplish none of this stuff without Christ.
It also helps. Like when he told those fishermen to do that, he had another vision. Like he had foresight, right? He had, he could see higher or farther than they could see at that moment. And sometimes you just need some people in your life that can go before you and see before you to add more value to your life, like how Jesus did to those fishermen. Having mentors, right? Someone that's been before in that area, having mentors, having people that know a little bit more than you to seek out their advice and their vision. That's dope, man. I love that story, Coach. Thank you for sharing that, man. Go deep, bro.
Because God's got he's got like the drone footage from above, right? If we're like translating it into today's time, because if you're just sitting there, you know, on the land and you just, or let's give the example that you were saying, Coach, where the drone footage up above, they could see the fish down there, right? So that's kind of like the full view, the panoramic view of what's going to happen, and we're just like, you know, tying knots on the boat, man. We you know, we're so focused on the immediate, so we need that partnership with someone that has the full vision of where we're going. So, and you know, I love that, Coach. Right, you gotta keep the Lord with you in all your decisions, and keep him in mind, and also knowing that He's given you the tools to make good decisions too. Right, so. But keeping him in mind as we move forward, I think that's super important to include.
100%. And I like you said that you mentioned this earlier on when you were kind of like talking about the vision, how everything's down to like the molecular level, how we're made of, that we vibrate and we have different frequency, right? Coach, can you kind of explain? Because I don't want to get to a deep dive podcast, but can you explain how, like, we are on the molecular, we're all made of light, right? We're made of light, and
which is energy.
Which is energy, and we all have a frequency that we vibrate at. Can you expound a little bit on that? Can we go down that lane real quick?
Jake brought it up earlier. It's called manifestation.
Mm.
It allows you to kind of to harness the energy and control the direction that is put out into the universe. So you attract that energy, you know what I mean, based on how you see things. So like my mentor told me that when you want something, you literally have to use all your six senses to visualize it. You know what I'm saying? So like if you want a crib, you know, you literally got to be like, all right, you have to see yourself walk into the crib. You visually got to see your feet feeling on the floorboards, and what color is the paint? What does it smell like? What do you hear? Do you hear the ocean, or do you hear the birds in the trees in the mountains? You know, he said you literally got to put yourself in that position to really understand and manifest to the world that this is what you want. And this is what you attract. And, you know, based on the law of energy, you know, you will attract that. You'll get it. Eventually you'll get it. You know what I mean? Steve Harvey talks about it all the time, man. You put your mind into it, put God first. You know, you're going to receive what you're going to receive, you know. And Tonga, man, I claim Tonga everywhere I go. Hey, did you know my buddy got a shop down in Texas? I drop your name everywhere I go.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you. You know, I'm proud of what you've done. And I'm proud to know you. And I'm proud to like be part of your mission and your vision and your accomplishments and your successes and failures. Like I'm proud to be a part of that. You know what I'm saying? So I claim you everywhere I go. I drop your name. Hey, y'all know my Tonga? You know, he got a car shop. You know, he's the best of the best. You know, that's the energy that I want to feel when somebody talk about me too, man.
Absolutely. We were Tech and I were talking about that. The last episode we talked about, and he mentioned that, you know, you should choose who you hang out with. Who are your friends that you're hanging out with? Are they adding value to your life, or they're taking away from your life? And he was mentioning, he's like, man, that's why I hang around Coach, man. I want to pick his brains. I want, you know, find out what he's running his business. I need to pick his brain, and I need to figure out what he's doing. So that's why I'm always trying to hang around Coach. I was like, yeah, keep hanging around him, man. What do you think I followed him to ASU? Followed him to Arizona State, man. Come on, man.
But, I mean, like the love is for everyone. Likewise, Coach, like when I see a picture or a Snapchat of somebody I'm hanging with and I see you there, I'm like, that's my nigga Ati right there. You know what I mean? Like I always say that. And it's been multiple times where I've seen him in pictures and something like that, and I've heard nothing but, oh yeah, you know, Will's a good dude, you know, good. I was like, bro, you have no idea. Like, I want to match everyone else's energy, you know, all y'all energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we can all level up together. I think we got a good group, man, for sure, 100%. We got a good group.
And I noticed that, like, in my life, if something's off, bro, like that energy, it'll tell you if it's off, right? If you're messing with someone that you know, like you don't really know them, but you kind of hear stuff from other people, but then you experience it yourself, that their energy is going to tell you what's going on, who they really are, without you even having to say anything or like really communicate with them, because the way they're vibing literally is off. And so, like, if we can stitch, like, part of having a vision is to pay attention to those off times too, like people that are coming into your life, you can kind of like, decipher who and what energy is allowed to come into your circle, into your life. But Jake, what were you saying? You had your hand up, or you looked like you were about to say something. What were you going to say?
I don't. I don't know. I like what he was saying with vibrations, but like I think just kind of making this. I like to break things down to. I like to simplify things down when we're starting to talk about this, like manifestation. Sometimes it could be confusing for people and confusing for me when we use words like that. So like the boat is a good example for me in my head. Like we're talking like we're all going in the same direction. I think the other way would be like you guys know like the Gulf Stream that runs it runs up the Atlantic Ocean, right? And it warms all right there. But you guys have all been in the ocean before, right? Or been in fast moving water. What's it like swimming against the current? This is kind of what we're talking about. Like if you try and go sideways through the current or you swim against the current, we're moving in a direction. We're like the Gulf Stream, right? And you're going to see people around you trying to go against the current. That is not the way to survive. That is not you're not vibing with the environment. You're not moving with the way that you're supposed to move in that sense. And you see why they're struggling is because they're going against the current, right? So we go with the flow, we go with the current, and just to kind of picture us in that, kind of helps me. It just helps me visualize in my head what that actually means when we talk about manifesting.
What are other things that you guys do to help you in goal planning and setting your goals or reaching your goals? What are some other things or pro tips that you can share with us?
I try to keep a routine. Have some kind of schedule. My day is super busy, so I try to keep a routine. And I try to keep to that routine as much as I can, so I can stay focused. Because me, if I'm doing something at the shop, especially, customer walks in and does something else, I won't get back to it. Like I just totally forget. It's so easy with juggling so many things. And I tell Jake all the time, like, because Jake and I are doing this Kava venture, right? I tell Jake all the time, I'm like, bro, don't hesitate to call me. I'm fake busy. I tell that to everybody. I'm fake busy. You know what I mean? I'm not busy. I'm fake busy. Just get a hold of me. Call me when you can. So I think if you create a routine, I can't remember the book. I read a sales book back in the day, but they said I think it takes 21 days to create a habit, right? So to be a creature of habit, like you do it so much, repetitive, it becomes a habit. So I try to keep to the same exact routine. Like I try to get up at such and such time, make my way to the shop. It doesn't always work. I don't always keep the schedule, but for the most part, I have some kind of schedule, right? And a routine.
Keeping a routine. That's a pro tip. Staying consistent with that. Coach, you
making it a habit,
Yeah.
Right. Because motivation comes and goes, right? There's days like
absolutely
you struggle. Maybe you don't sleep half the night. Those of you that have kids probably know that better than single guys. You have better reasons why you didn't sleep the night than maybe what we have. But maybe so you gotta have that schedule in place in order to keep the discipline for when the motivation fails you in certain scenarios, because you're not always motivated like how you feel right now when you're like surrounded. We got the message going. Let me get up and go to the gym. Let me get up and do something right now. That feeling's not always there. So that's what the schedule, helps is that keeps you disciplined. And then the more that you stick to the schedule and the discipline, you can fall back into the motivation. So it's like cyclical.
I like that.
Hey, back in the pandemic, when everybody had to stay home and couldn't go anywhere, I was trying to find some motivation, like what Jake was talking about. And I clicked on Steve Harvey. I love Steve Harvey. I think he's like one of the biggest, smoothest pimps I've ever seen on television,
Absolutely.
Always has a clean suit on, right? Always just looking super clean every time he's on television. And he's on everything. He's on everything right now. And I just love the way that he moves and the way he says things. But one of the challenges that he made on one of the things that I watched is to write down 300 goals. Right? He said that like you have to think big. Like he said, think big, talking about like, for example, do you want to like go on a trip somewhere on a vacation trip? Think bigger than that, talk about that you want to buy a jet plane. Talk about you want to own a mountain. He said, you got to think bigger. Vision has to be bigger, and write them down. And I did it, man.
Mhm.
You know, I did it. And so he said, once you get to 170, you're going to start slowing down on everything that you want to do. And I got to 176. I was like, damn, I start running out of ideas, you know, of what I want. And so right now I'm at I think I haven't reached 300 yet. And this is 2020, bro. Right. And this is 2022. And I'm still writing my visions down, or my goals down. I think I'm at like 276 now, almost 300. And he said, after you write your goals down, every single day, you have to go back and read your goals. And it's like reading a book, man. You know what I mean? This is 276 goals that I wrote down. You know what I mean? And after you start reading those goals every single day, you'll be surprised of all the things that you accomplish. And so what I've done, I started marking it down. I started highlighting it, and I write down the day, the month, and the year that I accomplished that. Man, it's unreal, bro.
Whoa.
It's unreal, all the goals that I've set, for not just for me, but for wifey, for my family, for my goals itself. And it's crazy, because I talk about writing goals down, and he kind of he gave me that challenge, and I did it. And man, I challenge y'all to do that, you know, and see if you guys can, you know, manifest something else for us.
So
Man,
you
that's
write.
wild.
So write it down again. You just write 300. Try to write 300 goals in a day, or
Yeah.
just,
So your goal is just to get a book. Man, I got it. I think it's in a truck.
Mhm.
You get a book and you write down 300 big goals that you want. And it could be small goals too,
Mhm.
right? But he said to think big. You want a jet plane, you want to own, you know, a mansion, you want to own a castle, you want to own like a state. He said, write it down, you know, but you got to think big. And then every single day you go back and you just read through your goals, and you'll be surprised of all the goals that, you know, that you've accomplished within however long, man. And I think I might just go downstairs to go grab my book in my truck so I can kind of show y'all and read some of those goals that I accomplished. So you kind of see, man, it's small, you know, going on vacation. You know, one of my goals was to take wifey down to Cancun or Mexico.
Mhm.
And this was 2 years ago, bro. We did that. You know what I'm saying? Something as simple as that. You know, making our nonprofit organization one of the leading training programs for linemen in the state.
Mhm.
And we did that.
That's what I'm
Sending kids
talking
off
about.
sending kids off to scholarships for that one specific year for 2020. I had 20 kids in my program. Every single one of my kids in that program got D1 scholarships. You know, I was 20 out of 20, bro. And the power of writing stuff down is real, you know, and
Super real. Yeah.
yeah.
Dang. That's
Coach, how's that make you feel, Coach, when you're going through and you're reading your list again, you're like, damn, I just checked off like 6 of them. You know what I mean? Or 7 or 1. You know what I mean? Like, how does that make you feel, man?
Man, it motivates you to just keep thinking about those goals. It motivates you to it creates momentum, right? It creates confidence that it don't matter what people tell me that I can't do. You know, all the doubters, all the doubtsayers that say that I can't do this, man, I don't think about that anymore. So it changes your mindset straight up. It changes your trajectory and your direction of what you really want to have for your family. And it's cool, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, just to kind of put it out there, and then all of a sudden it happens. It's fun to see. And what's his name? The guy who put it together.
Steve Harvey?
Steve Harvey said you'll start to get excited because you'll be surprised of all the things that you accomplish in that book for all your goals you put down. And he was right.
Jeez.
Coach, when you reflect on those, is it more valuable what you learned in the process of getting there or getting there itself?
Wow. Say that again, Jake.
So I often think about this too, because after going and hitting a goal, and as you reflect on it and think back, is it more valuable what you learn on your way there or getting there itself?
Dang. I think both, but I think that like after hearing you ask that question, I think that the lessons that I've learned and the trials that I overcame within that process of accomplishing that goal is what um, I think what's a little bit more special for me.
I see. You know what I was thinking? Because you've done that, you were able to do that. I think you now have the opportunity or the like the skill to actually teach other people to do that too. Or like you
Oh
can
yeah,
convey that
100%.
easier. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
He's like what he's teaching us right now. You know what I mean? Like I'm geeked for him. Like I could
Mm,
totally picture myself doing the same thing, like going through like, and even on, so for example, say you're having a bad day, you go through, read your goals, and you're like, it's not that bad. I accomplished 2 goals today. You know what I mean? Like,
You know,
it's a big deal.
does that make
I
you
like
want to
that.
write even bigger goals? I mean, like, does that tend to like you? Are you naturally you're wanting to actually write even bigger goals? Probably now.
yeah, I think it naturally builds confidence.
Momentum. I like
It
that word you
does.
use.
You
You
know?
said momentum, man. That's huge, bro. That's huge. I know Tech used to repeat these things. He's like, hey, it's better to hit a high goal, or he would always say this. He'd always tell us, it's better to aim high and instead of and aim low and hit the low target. Remember, he'd always share that with the to always aim high. And I keep hearing, I don't know who it was, but they did an interview and and they asked this person like, what do you wish you would have done differently in your career? And that person, I think it was a boxer, or I want to say it was a boxer, but he told the reporters like, I wish I would have dreamed bigger because I already hit everything, you know. So the importance of dreaming huge, like dreaming big, but then dream huge. I think that's, I think like a pro tip that we can all try to do is to dream big, huge. But then you get those people like I was living in Sacramento, like down the street from I was working in Sacramento. I had my little apartment. Lived down the street from Coach. And I did the vision board in my little apartment. And in my master bathroom, I put up a whole bunch of cutouts of different cars I want. And it was kind of like my vision board. It was I put it in my bathroom. And I had a house with a gate because I always wanted a home with a gate. Like that's one of my goals, right? To have a home with a gate, gate where you pull up and the gate opens for you. And then one time, my family they were stopping in Sacramento, just visiting, stopping, staying the night. And I had my whole my whole bathroom's decked out in my vision board. And then my little sister, she walks in. Someone used my main bathroom. Someone was taking a shower in my main bathroom, so she had to come in and use the master bathroom in my bedroom. And she came in and she went and used it, and then she came out, and we're all chilling, eating in the living room. And then she was like, she sat down and started eating. She's like, man, I didn't know you had a crime scene up in your bathroom. She started fighting me, bro. She's like, Mom, I just walked to the most, bro. He had a crime scene in there.
Oh, he was over there and had case files up on his wall.
Oh shit! I was like, dude, you ain't allowed in my apartment no more. You gotta get out. You started fighting me, bro. I was like, because I had my cars, I had like different like bling bling watches. She straight fighting me, bro. She's like, man, I didn't know you got a freaking crime scene up in your detective. Oh, bro. That's one thing. Like that's the importance of not of knowing who to share your vision with, dude. Don't, bro. Some of your family members, they're probably the biggest haters, bro. But it was
Be
so
like that.
funny,
It'd be
bro.
like that though.
Dude, it'd be like
100%.
that. It'd be like that. So that's another thing to keep in mind, folks. Like, yeah, you're doing your vision board, you're putting this together. 2023 is going to be a new you and new everything. Just remember, man, just keep your eye focused and your head down and keep working because sometimes it's, we all know this. This is all just a part of life. Is that sometimes it's the ones that are who are closest to you that will wreck that dream or vision.
Because what coach is saying, I think helps you. Like we're all like the biggest fear is people are afraid to fail, right? And so like myself included, all of us, right? So if you're with the right people, you can fail upwards, or you're not sharing it with the wrong. So I think it's important in like what coach is saying about the 300 goals, because you literally have a record of your success, but how many failures you had on your way up to the success. So I think the key takeaway is to fail upwards.
Fail
Wow,
forward.
I love that perspective, Jake.
That's dope. I like that too, Jake. I like that. Fail upwards and fail forward. Like I heard, that's one thing I used to hear a lot. Is like, don't fail backwards, fail forward. Like keep going.
Yeah, I like fail forward better. same concept. You're reading my mind.
Yeah. Coach, what do you got there, man?
I want to go get that goal book, man.
Oh,
This is it right here.
Oh, what?
It says dreams. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's kind of blurry.
Yeah, you can see it. For those of you that are just listening, Coach just went downstairs. He has a book, and it's a red book, and it's written with a cursive gold like dream on the front of the book.
So I write all my goals down. But I have like 300. Right now I have 200 plus goals that I write down. And then I highlight them and write down the month and the year that I accomplished that goal. It's just fun to go back and see. You know, I'm reading right now, one of my goals is to buy a helicopter. I'm going to buy a helicopter one day.
Go for it. I'm going to ride with you in that helicopter, bro.
Yeah.
You got this, man. Jeez. That's what's up. Do you know what kind of helicopter? What model?
I don't. I just wrote them down.
That's what's up. Man, one of my goals, I'm going to tell y'all this right now, is to try to get a pilot's license. Been trying to do it. So on my phone, I have this picture of a Cessna. I don't have it here, but is to learn how to fly a plane, man. That's one of my goals. So maybe 2023, maybe 2026. Who knows? But man, I need to get one of those books, man. That's dope. 300 goals. That sounds like a lot. And you said about when you got to 176, you kind of like slowed down?
Kind of just slow down and kind of run out of ideas a little bit. But, you know, once you think of something, you just got to have this book accessible to, you know, just write stuff down. You know, I'm just reading through here. It's just fun to see the highlights on all these pages because it does motivate me, man. Like I want to meet The Rock. You know, it's one of my goals. Dwayne Johnson.
Nice.
So
that's Oliver call.
huh?
Yeah, keep going. Please share some of the stuff that you wrote, Coach. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here. I want to create an NFL team in Utah.
Oh.
You know, some type of some program that's connected, at least in my head, an NFL program that's connected with a program that's connected with the NFL. You know, and in some capacity, which would be dope, right?
That place has the talent and the infrastructure to do that.
Oh, I found some cash. What's going on here? See, I think that's one of my goals is to save some cash.
Nice. Very nice. But yeah,
man, it's cool, man. You know,
mm-hmm.
like I told y'all, I feel like I have to trick myself in a way to stay focused. You know, one of the tips that I always do when I'm trying to accomplish something in a moment is when like I get distracted or a thought comes in my head. I've learned that so say I have a task that I need to complete, right? And something pops in my head where it kind of distracts me from accomplishing that goal. I have to write that task down. Or I'm sorry, I have to write that
what you're working on?
That distraction down. Does that make sense?
Okay.
For me to forget about that distraction, it's helped me like stay on task, you know, for a long period of time and focus. That makes sense.
Yeah, that happens to me a lot, man, especially when I'm editing our episodes.
See,
Oh, yeah. I get distracted left and right, man, like straight up. If I don't put my phone away, then I'm not doing that episode. So I get distracted. So you're saying when you get that distraction, you write it down?
write it down. Write that thought down on that or whatever piece of paper. This now that thought is somewhere else now.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And then you can go back to do what you were doing. And this helped. I don't know if it's 100% for me, but it's helped me kind of stay focused longer, accomplish whatever I'm doing at that moment longer.
I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try to use that. But that's fascinating that you said that you try to do something that like you tricks you into staying focused. I've never heard that before, man. So I'm gonna try to implement that into my daily editing when I'm editing our episodes and stuff. I'm gonna try to use that, Coach. That's brilliant.
Here's another trick that I've learned about myself. This is just me learning about me, man.
Mm-hmm.
I started to get in the habit of becoming late to meetings or late to like something that I'm going to, part of my life, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what happens is I know that the meeting starts at 8 in the morning. I'm dressed and ready to go at 7 o'clock in the morning. But for some reason, I get distracted and I'm still late to that meeting. And late for me is 5 minutes early. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so like it started to be a pattern for me where I'm ready for church or I'm ready for something. Then all of a sudden, toko man, I get there late. You know what I'm saying? So what I've done is I've like tricked my mind into going somewhere that's close to where I need to go. Right.
Okay.
So like I kind of put my mind to like go to the gas station to go buy a drink before I go to that meeting. So if I am late, right, I'm not that late anymore because I'm just around the corner. You feel me?
Okay.
So now I'm 30 minutes early. But that's what I mean by trick. I got to trick myself. And I don't know if that'll help anybody else that's listening and trying to trick yourself into like, being on time, because that's what I've done. That's a trick that I've used for years now.
Yeah, that's a good little pro tip right there. Maybe someone can try. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use it honestly on my editing when I'm editing our podcast, man. I'm gonna straight up use that, especially the part where you write it down. I think that's gonna help me big time. I'm gonna try it tonight, actually, after we're done with this episode. Oh man, that's all some great tips. What about you, Jay? You got some insight or anything you'd like to share on that?
And I have a terrible concept of time, so I have to do what Coach is saying about like I have to trick myself into like, so if I think something is going to take this long for me to get ready or whatever, I have to double it or even triple it to get ready, because I literally have my brain can't conceptualize going to the gym. I'm like, that should take me an hour and a half, and then I can get home, and by this time I should be doing that, and 2.5 hours later I'm getting home from the gym. So it's like, or even like I'm going to leave to go to the gym at this time, but then as I didn't prepare enough time for, I gotta eat. Now my dog wants to go out. I gotta go walk him. I forgot to get my pre-workout ready, all these things. So I have to double or triple the time depending on the activity I'm kind of tricking myself same way, right? Just because I don't have a very good concept of how long things take, unfortunately. So that helps me a ton. The little life hacks, right? I think all of us kind of have different things that distract us or throw us off or whatever. But that's what I have to do to make it on time to things, or to like get things accomplished within a reasonable amount of time when I got other things on my plate.
I see. That's what's up. For me, man, it's either I do it or I don't. And I do it I go hard either way. So I need to focus on, because y'all know we have hella episodes, because either I do it or I don't. And I need to figure out how to transition over to that part where I'm tricking myself. Because I have that mentality right now. It's like, man, I'm lazy. I'm not going to do it today. I just won't do it. Well, I need to get into that habit of developing that, that skill set of tricking myself into doing, or getting to that point where I can finish my edits. I think I'm gonna start using that tonight. So if you guys see me writing down some things and sending in the group chat, you just know that that's what I'm doing.
I do another trick too, like earning my leisure time, like earning the reward. So if I have a certain things that I know I need to get accomplished, I can't take it, whatever the reward is going to be. I cannot do it unless I do those things that I've been avoiding. Because I think it's human nature, right? Like we avoid the things that are harder or difficult or
Absolutely.
maybe they're boring or uncomfortable. There's just a lot of things, right, that we avoid. But it helps me get through it when I tell myself, okay, you can't go do the thing you want until you do those things. So that helps me kind of get through it too. That helps a lot with like, because I love to work out, but man, some days my body is not cooperating. And I've learned to like incorporate different things, rest days, all that kind of stuff. But there's a difference when I'm being lazy versus or avoiding it versus, and so I'll use those tricks like, okay, if you want to, you're not going to be able to go do that unless you earn it. So you got to go earn it. And so and that works for like my daily job too. You're not going to go get to do that until you've knocked out these, 3-4 things or whatever. So it helps just kind of like, you get a reward for doing what you're supposed to do type of a thing. So it's, another little life hack.
All right. I can try to use that too. Man, I need everything to help me to, accomplish the stuff that I need, especially number one priority of editing. Y'all know that's a task in of itself. So I feel like what you guys just shared with me right now, I'm going to implement those because I've never heard of them before. I've never thought about even doing that. So thank you for sharing that tonight. So the key takeaways for me from what I've heard and what we've talked about today is 1, write your goals down. 2, like what we're just talking about, tricking yourself, doing something that will set you up to accomplish your goal. What are some key takeaways from what you guys learned tonight, or from what we've talked about tonight, Coach?
I think that by listening to you guys accomplish your goals, I think it's one of my key takeaways is being able to listen to success stories from you guys, right? And I think it's important that we share those success stories with each other to keep us rolling when things aren't going well, right? And we know they don't always go well. And I think one of the other takeaways that I take is just to understand that the output that you get, it's typically based on the input. So if this is what you want, this is what you got to do. That's what I take from this episode, man. And I love it when, this is my first time on an episode in a while. But when you talk about goals, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get on this episode with Notis and with Jake. Listen, I feel passionate. I'm passionate about goals and listening to success stories. I'm addicted to listening to anybody do things that they put their heart out to accomplishing.
And it's great that you're on here because you have a nice track record to be able to share that stuff with our listeners, or even with us. I've learned so much just talking right now. So definitely a benefit to everyone's listening tonight. So thank you for that, Coach. What about you, Jake?
Okay, so I wrote some things down. While we were going. Now I was hoping, Coach, you were going to be on this one too, because I think this is one that you probably lead by example the most out of at least what you shared with us.
100%. Wow.
Although all of us are kind of goal oriented, but key takeaways: pay attention to the distractions, write them down so you know when they're coming. It's kind of like a little. We talked about life hacks, I think, a lot in here, so that's one of them. Write your goals down. And you gave us the example, write 300 goals down, dream big, and then just to kind of give yourself a good focus to go forward, right? And then out of that, I had the idea to fail forwards or fail upward, right? And so important to know that your failures are contributing towards your future success. I think that's just a key part of it, because failing is uncomfortable, but just knowing that's part of the process, and it is progress, not failure when you fail, if that makes sense. And the last one, 5 minutes early is late. I like that one too.
Coach
It's a
ain't
good
never
concept
late.
to go and thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's just a good concept to to run in life on those things. But and then go with the current and make sure that those around you, your circle, your people that are that are with you, are going the same direction you're going, so that you can all get there faster.
Mm. That's what's up.
Yeah, that's great, Jake.
Some great takeaways right there. Man, gentlemen, my brothers, thank you so much for everything you guys shared tonight. I hope everyone that's listening has been able to, gain some value from what we shared tonight on episode 36. Again, if you guys want to reach out to us, so you guys have a question or you would like to join us for a podcast, please hit us up on the Encourager Show at gmail.com, or just slide into any one of our DMs on Instagram, TikTok, or Twitter. And once again, this is episode 36. My name is Notis. I'm joined here with Jake and Coach Will Kofe, and Tonga was here with us earlier. Guys, do you have anything else you want to share before we end this one?
Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe on the Encouragers on YouTube, so we can build our following. We want to do this more. The more people that follow us and support us, the more often we can do this and share more content. And one of the big goals, one of my big 300 goals, is to grow this podcast so that I can do this more with my brothers. I enjoy this so much, so just glad to be able to do that. And then shout out to our sponsors, as always, Good Vibes Kava. We got Ofa in the house. We had Card House Texas. Any others that we got? Notice?
Troop 28 Clothing. And Ofa Academy 100. Coach, you have anything else you want to share or impart as we close this one out?
Yeah, Matt. I think it's important that you surround yourself with people that support you and people that love you regardless, because as fun as goals are and writing them down and accomplishing them, you still need that. I think about the 49ers, right? I want to be that guy who's holding the radio when they walk out. I'm that guy, when they're walking out of the tunnel, I'm that guy that's going to hype you up. I'm that guy that's going to be right next to you and cheer you on to accomplish your goals. So yeah, man, surround yourself with good people, man. It's fun when you have them around you.
100%. Man, thank you again, Coach and Jake and Tonga, for being on this episode. Again, we are the Encouragers. Find us on all platforms of social media. And thank you for listening. And guys, have a good night and great week.
See you guys.